Ethan Walker had spent 20 years working 12-hour shifts in the oil fields of West Texas. Every sunrise looked the same: dust in the air, steel machines screaming in the heat, and men too tired to complain anymore. He saved every dollar he could because he had one dream: a quiet life beside a lake. Not a mansion, not a luxury resort, just peace. At 53 years old, Ethan finally bought 5 acres of land near Silver Pine Lake, a beautiful area surrounded by pine trees, small cabins, and calm water that reflected the orange sunset every evening. The cabin on the property was old and half-rotten, but Ethan loved it immediately. "This place is perfect," he whispered as he stood beside the lake. For the first time in decades, he felt free. The first few weeks were peaceful. Ethan repaired the porch, cleaned the yard, and planted small apple trees near the fence line. Every morning, he drank coffee while listening to birds instead of machinery. Then the HOA arrived. A black SUV stopped outside his property one afternoon. 3 people stepped out wearing expensive clothes and fake smiles. A blonde woman wearing sunglasses walked forward first. "Hello," she said. "I'm Victoria Halle, president of the Silver Pine Homeowners Association." Ethan frowned slightly. "Didn't know this place had an HOA. Victoria smiled again, but this time it felt colder. "Oh, it absolutely does." Behind her stood a tall, skinny man holding a clipboard, and another woman recording, everything on her phone. Victoria looked around the property with visible disgust. "You've made several unauthorized changes already." Ethan crossed his arms. "Like what?" "The porch paint color violates community appearance standards. Those tools beside the shed are visible from the road. And those trees were planted without HOA approval." Ethan blinked slowly. "You're joking."
Victoria didn't laugh. "The fines begin tomorrow if the violations aren't corrected." Ethan had dealt with hard men his entire life, but something about this woman annoyed him instantly. "Lady," he said calmly, "I bought this land legally. I'll plant whatever trees I want." Victoria's smile disappeared. "You signed HOA compliance during closing." "No, I didn't." "Yes, you did." She handed him a folded paper. Ethan looked at it carefully. There was indeed an HOA document buried in the stack of closing papers he had signed months ago. He cursed quietly under his breath. Victoria noticed. "The rules exist to maintain property values," she said proudly. Ethan stared at her. "You mean control people?" Victoria ignored the comment. "We also noticed you're building a fence." "Yep. That fence exceeds approved height regulations." Ethan looked toward the unfinished wooden fence near the lakeside. "It's 6 feet. The maximum allowed height is 4 feet. "That's ridiculous." Victoria shrugged. "Lower it by Friday." Then they left. Ethan stood silently as the SUV disappeared down the road. His peaceful dream suddenly felt different. That night he sat on the porch rereading the HOA rules. The document was almost 30 pages long. No boats visible from the road. No outdoor fires after 8 p.m. No garden sheds without approval. No fences above 4 feet. No chickens. No loud tools on weekends. No political signs. No visible trailers. Ethan laughed angrily. Do these people think they own the town? The next morning he decided not to change the fence. By Friday afternoon another SUV appeared. This time Victoria arrived with 2 security officers. "We're documenting non-compliance," she announced. Ethan kept hammering nails into the fence. Victoria stepped closer. "You were warned." And I ignored it. "You now owe $500 in fines." Ethan stopped hammering. "For a fence?" "For violating community standards." Ethan pointed toward the lake. "My nearest neighbor is half a mile away." "That's irrelevant." The skinny man with the clipboard took photos. Ethan noticed several nearby residents quietly watching from their porches. Nobody said a word. That evening, Ethan visited the local hardware store in town. While buying supplies, an old cashier leaned closer and whispered, "You fighting the HOA?" Ethan sighed. "Looks like it." The cashier nodded knowingly. "They've bullied everyone around here for years." "Then why doesn't somebody stop them?" The old man chuckled sadly.